each of them. That's the reality tonight, as it's time to dig their way out in the battle between East and West, as Jeremiah Ojo downfield gets a special teams tackle here to open things up.
That matters here in the Canadian Football League, so not pressing the panic button at this point.
We'll begin with an inside handoff here. Brady Oliveira, the reigning MOP, bombs his way right through the middle of this offense. 2 catches, but one of them went for a touchdown for Cody Case, as they'll have a flag come up here, handed off to Brady Oliveira, who had a first down on first down, the first touch of the ball game. And now the flags will be flying at various points throughout the night. Collaros will throw for the first time here into those conditions. Pressure is on, and the Argonauts get home early and often, as they have all season, as that one is Aaron Casey.
Man-on-man protection, beating your guy straight up.
2-man return back here. Dave Unger III alongside Janarian Grant. They'll kick it to Janarian Grant as they fake the reverse, and Janarian, after a 57-yard punt, will return this out to the 28-yard line.
Cameron Dukes, who started the first part of last year, released at the end of camp.
Well, they'll throw it backwards here. The lefty, Janarian Grant, on the double pass. He hung it up, and it falls into the waiting arms of Demonte Coxie. He had 6 explosive plays coming in, but that one, the most creative of deliveries. The fact that he caught it and let it go. So Nick Arbuckle, a bit of a smirk on that one, as Toronto sends a message on the opening play, as Deontay McMahon, hidden analytical mind behind one of the all-time greats, pass rushing off the edge, but he stands on the sideline here as Arbuckle pumps and now looks to throw over the top, in the air, on the money. Demonte Coxie, touchdown Argos. Giving it to the Winnipeg defense, who gave up 29 Vernon Adams Jr. completions over the last 2 weeks. 20 of them were for 10 yards or more. 6 explosive plays behind only Kenny Lawler, who has 8 for the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Well, quickly, Coates is trying to catch up before Lawler and the Tiger Cats take on the Lions tomorrow to round out a great Week 8 here in the Canadian Football.
Great to see a healthy Zach still doing his thing.
Careers began right here in Toronto as a thundering run from Brady Oliveira all the way up to the 50-yard line.
Already this year, he's in the field corner.
They'll be lurking here, looking for an opportunity, as Collaros rolls away and throws this one underneath. Quickly rallying to make the tackle that time. On
school time in New England before, as you said, heading on to New Hampshire.
Go back to Oliveira this time. Looks like he lost his footing right in the hole. So on 2nd down and 4, now there's... Crowd brings the noise here as Oliveira gets yet another touch. Rolls his way forward that time for a gain of 6, maybe 7 on the play. How to take those deep shots as well, as Collaros kills the play at the line of scrimmage, goes immediately to the second one he called in the huddle, and that is a quick little play action fake and flips it out. Jarrett Stearns, he hasn't opened it up as of yet in this first quarter. Goes back to the ground attack, pushing the pile up front, running right into Tyshawn Blackburn, and who else? Witten McManus. Oh, empty out Oliveira this time into the flats. Collaros looks over the top, corner out. Garrett Wheatfall dropping it into the bucket, but Wheatfall couldn't hang on. Dropping it in just over the outstretched arms of Benji Franklin, who bailed back to make that a difficult throw, as Sergio Castillo almost lost his footing on the kick that time, but knocks that one up and through. And he's 13 of 14 on the season now. 10 touchdowns on the season now, 8 interceptions, as he'll hand it off inside. And the Argonauts starting offense with a couple of moving pieces up front. Shane Richards in the lineup after being signed just about 5 days ago, as Arbuckle with pressure on, tries to escape, can't get away. Is that Tony Jones, the leader of this Winnipeg defense in the middle? Rain's starting to come down a little bit harder now. There's the return after a 30-yard ball out of bounds. And the Argonauts, the last to touch it, is about to say Brandon Calvert down the field. Like tire degradation, you can sense the field starting to get torn up more and more difficult for them to get the wheels turning, as Kayla Leyburn might have got free that time, but once again, Tony Jones. 8th year, all in Winnipeg, starting at that weak side linebacker spot, is on 2nd down. Arbuckle is going to fade this one up high for Coxie. One-on-one. Terrell Bonds on cue, holds his own. 6'3", 207 against Bonds, who's 5'8", 185. About 20 pounds and 5 inches difference, not to mention the length, as the field goal is up and good for Liram Hairolahu.
We're ready to roll here today.
Ended up finishing 8 of 11, but that was a big pop from Hicks. As Claros gets rolled on this one, I think Cam Judge caught him just as he released the football. Running quarterback package here already in this ball game, but Strebler with a low snap, it rolls along the ground, loses his footing, and somehow gets back on top of it. Derek Parrish fly off the ball and somehow still get your weight to push the football backwards. Won't go on the highlight reel at the end of the career, but it might be a vital play for field position here as Janarian Grant catches it at the 20-yard line. That's a 53-yard punt, and the wheels were turning there for number 3, but just lost an edge. What can I take care of? I'm trying to think of what my strength is in the Amazing Race.
Yeah, I mean, if there's any gross stuff, I'm not eating it.
I believe that's a different ship. Oh, ball's out as it pops onto the ground here, picked up by Winnipeg, and James Botters rumble into the end zone. It's wet, it's sloppy, it's slippery, and it's a Bombers touchdown. You got to secure that thing, right? And Leyburn in there, stepping in for Deontay McMahon, who was out after the first carry. Down injured, getting rolled up on his right leg. Victories including back-to-back against these Winnipeg Blue Bombers the last couple of weeks. Castillo puts it on the tee, drives this one deep. It's Leyburn back alongside Grant, and it'll be Janarian who gets the touch. Trying to dance, but 3 receivers to the right of Arbuckle. His pressure is on, and he has to shut it down and take a seat. Well, right after getting a touchdown, how about you follow it up with your first sack of the season? Arbuckle with 6 receivers available as they empty it out. Looks to throw and pressure's on again. He loses his helmet and he takes a seat as the flag comes out. And did the bucket get ripped off? To rip it off. Otherwise, Toronto's going backwards yet again. They'll fake the run, and Arbuckle. Man, Toronto's offense needs all the help that they can get all of a sudden in these conditions. Tony Jones flies in.
Is going to be in the best position to win this ballgame.
Momentum swings will continue back and forth, no doubt, all night long as Arbuckle gets this throw away. Sliding down to make the grab, it is DeMonte Coxie, gets onto his feet, runs down the sideline and adds some yards after the catch.
Is going to be in the best position to win this ballgame.
Momentum swings will continue back and forth, no doubt, all night long as Arbuckle gets this throw away. Sliding down to make the grab, it is DeMonte Coxie, gets onto his feet, runs down the sideline and adds some yards after the catch.
Is going to be in the best position to win this ballgame.
Momentum swings will continue back and forth, no doubt, all night long as Arbuckle gets this throw away. Sliding down to make the grab, it is DeMonte Coxie, gets onto his feet, runs down the sideline and adds some yards after the catch. He's got 101 yards already here on the evening of week 8 as Kalen Leyburn runs into a brick wall. Retta Cranby right there alongside, once again, James Vodders. Great point, reminds me of Andrew Harris, former Argo and Bomber, when he wouldn't have a gain, just throwing it out of bounds to avoid the losses. Nice completion this time. Dejon Brissett one-on-one with Evan Holm, and he wants to stay on his feet. Tony Jones runs back, makes the play, but Brissett, tremendous effort. Longest catch of the season for Dejon Brissett, previously 24 yards. That one goes for 30 as Arbuckle stumbles out of the pocket, rips this one sidearm. Dave Unger the third on the receiving end. Extremely close to the first down marker on 1st and 10. It's a completely different game. You're almost playing a different sport, it feels like. As this time, hard play action, and Willie Jefferson right there on Arbuckle, flying off the edge. Willie J, one of the true shining stars from that Grey Cup defensive effort for Winnipeg last November. Here in the rematch, making plays again as Arbuckle looks into the end zone. Open touchdown, Argonauts. Tavares Daniels has his 2nd of the season, and Arbuckle's got 2 at the start of Q2. As Toronto, at the end of the first quarter, operating in that same end, could barely get a snap.
Daniels kind of recognized they were giving him that space.
Almost in slow motion, but just smooth, right time, right place. As big return here, flagged down as well. Not if, but when Dembski gets into the end zone at some point as Kevin Sklercius this time slides his way down inside. Is the man with the strongest hands. It's been the Bombers defense doing all the work. We'll see if they give him some love here on 1st and 10. Nope, Zach fakes it, pumps, pressure on, and then dumps this one away. And did he get it beyond the original line of scrimmage? Yes. What will Shivers and Ivan do here on 2nd and long? They send a little bit of twist and pressure. Collaros dances his way out of it. Backhand shovels it forward, and it'll be incomplete. A lot of two-man returns. You don't want that ball sliding around and skipping. They protect the return, but it does go to Grant. And again, tries to cut his way back inside, and after a 56-yard punt, a pretty good return effort.
And a lot of that is personal accountability. When I was speaking to Nick Dembski about this, he said all of us understand what we need to do. There's no rah-rah, there's no whiteboard material, there's no need to look at the Grey Cup for any sense of motivation. All we're motivated by is a chance to win.
You're generally going to get positive or desired outcomes.
Give a handoff inside. Kalen Leyburn breaks across the plane. It's the 30-25, and finally Griffin pushes him out of bounds. Could he be the answer for them? Well, certainly on the receiving end, DeMonte Coxey has been the answer. He just refuses to be tackled, as we were talking about the Bombers and their maturity.
Point of view has been getting down here.
Leyburn trying to turn the leg, stays on his feet. Sat into the chair that time and then straightened his way back up with the lower body power. Yeah, the Duolingo streak has been good. A little jet pass here as Willie Jefferson gives chase. Oh, cutting it back! And there's a flag in behind the play. What a jump cut that time from Janarian Grant, trying to find creative ways. The backside, that is great stuff from Willie J. As now Arbuckle looks to the outside, perfectly timed, but the placement just a little bit off. Second and goal. Takes the snap, looks to his right, throws it to the outside and misses this one as well. High and away, incomplete. Was 4 for 4 in that Grey Cup victory last November. Knocks this one through as well. Most important personal number maybe is his catch streak, because this one's intercepted. Jarrett Stearns was the intended receiver, but they'll stack the pile up. Waiting on the other end. So Arbuckle, after missing a couple of throws into the end zone, gets another opportunity here. Fresh set of downs, looking down the field and flutters this one just off the mark as well.
Being conservative isn't so much about your play calling, but just recognizing sort of in your movements that you need to be under control, running routes, etc.
Arbuckle looking into a window. That one real tight. Dietrich Nichols, excellent coverage. Flying out and nearly.
Dietrich Nichols, and what a great communicator he is on the back end.
Would have been Nichols' first interception of the season. That will have to wait, but it's back-to-back field goals. Castillo, the offense, not able to reach the end zone as of yet here in week number 8, as they're trying to avoid 3 straight losses after a couple of... That's what's on the line here tonight as they try to avoid it. Now Dembski hauls it in. Tyshawn Blackburn in coverage, but Dembski, the big explosive play. Colaros talked to us this week. Back to the ground game they go. Brady Oliveira stutters his feet. Gets tackled after a minimal gain. For Dembski, set a career-high 146 receiving yards against Calgary. Obviously, between Kevin Mittal and Nick Dembski as they'll sprint. Oliveira out wide and a massive hit. Popped up in the air. Benji Franklin with a big assist. So Arbuckle, after another close second quarter interception, that's another possession, but significantly more backed up than the last one. It was a good job that time by the Winnipeg front to stop Kalen Leyburn. After the 3-minute warning hit there on 2nd and 10, pressure's on. He's going to go middle screen, right down the pipe. Got the first down and more, all the way out to the 34-yard line. Tavares Daniels. Well, they had a couple of minutes to cook that one up on the Toronto sideline. With 2:40 remaining in the first half. This time just a 4-man rush. Arbuckle, quick completion. And out near the 40-yard line is back here calling the signals now against an empty set from the Argonauts. As that one, Kevin Mittal doesn't even look like he's struggling to stay on his feet as people are wrapping him up. Granby blitzes off the edge. Arbuckle goes the other way. Dejon Brissett makes Evan Holm miss. Out of Virginia, Mississauga native. As Arbuckle goes with a little inside shovel this time. Kevin Mittal trying to find some different ways to get him the football.
Terrific receiver who was a Heck Crichton winner during his time in U Sports.
Second down. Arbuckle complete pass. Evan Holm will try to rip it away from Tavares Daniels, who refuses to go down until he's tossed to the turf. Also on the field, number 1 for the Argonauts is McMahon, the fake, and Kevin Mittal catches it again behind the line of scrimmage, pushed out of bounds. High efficiency, low risk. ball never came up. Arbuckle was calling for it. Receivers all went. Gets the snap cleanly this time. On second and long, he's got some running room. Arbuckle cuts back against the grain, puts his shoulder down. And the Grey Cup MVP, the ageless one, Jake Thomas, was giving chase on third and short. They'll give it to Deontay McMahon. Slides his way underneath the Bombers' tackle attempt. Who do you go to if you're Arbuckle down here? Look at the way of Mayala. Steps forward in the pocket, breaks the pocket. Now he slides. Arbuckle at the line. They whistle it in. Clock is rolling. Arbuckle throws a fade. Demonte Coxie, and that one incomplete. Terrell Bonds fighting all the way. Debate amongst yourselves at home over halftime. Iralahu with 1 second on the clock hammers this one through, and a 15-point advantage. Wilson was the one that was working things through with Kolonkowski, so we'll keep an eye on that. Toronto gets possession first. Open up this second half, so Winnipeg's got a couple of minutes to determine what their plan of attack is and whether Quarles comes out of the tunnel as well. But Janarian Grant turns the corner, has struggled offensively in a variety of different categories to open up this season. Arbuckle begins throwing to the outside. Dave Unger makes the grab as Trey Vavel brings him down at around the 48-yard line. Not defined by his size, can do all sorts of different things that people don't expect. As this time, it's Person that flies in. Jay Person. Four-man rush. Arbuckle, clean pocket, steps up, looks downfield, catch is made, first down. Demonte Coxie, who else on the receiving end for the big second down conversion? Finding a way to be productive despite the conditions. There's Deontay McMahon. Cuts his way back. McMahon identifying the front. Now he leaves to the flats. Arbuckle looks right, comes back middle, finds Kevin Mittal. And it's another first down with a second down conversion.
Leaves you wondering how he's feeling after that first half, guys.
Yeah, no doubt. Those aches and pains add up as the season goes along. Thank you, Matthew. As Nick Arbuckle, a little sidearm delivery this time. Third catch of the night. Dave Unger chopped down. Extra offensive lineman is in here. Darius Sirocco for the Argonauts. They'll run it with that heavy package. And on second down and 2, it's another Argonauts first down, and back inside the score zone they go. Arbuckle hands it off inside. And it looks like Willie Jefferson. Demonte Coxie, Devaris Daniels into the short side of the field. That's the bottom of your screen. They'll empty it out with Leyburn. Arbuckle looks the other way. Ball is tapped and knocked down, and Arbuckle tried to track down his own tip. Tyra who knocks it through, and Willie J told us this week he wants to leave a legacy that's hard to catch. He wants 100 sacks as quick as possible.
After one early on, so we'll wait to see what information we get.
In comes Chris Strevler, 64% passer so far on the season. Comes in 36 and 56. You see Colaros on the sidelines there in a jacket, so it looks like he is done for the night. As they'll go with an inside shovel looking for Michael Chris Ike, and that one incomplete. The underhand pitch. Jamison Sheehan's going to fake this one. Goes for a run right at the line. Can he get there and turn the corner? We'll see where they spot it. Looks like it was short. Arbuckle under center for the Toronto Argonauts. Hands it off inside. The Argonauts lost last week to Montreal. Arbuckle wanted to get it out quick and won't have the opportunity. Flying through the middle of that defense. It's Devin Adams. Toronto Argonauts will be forced to send it away. I feel like we haven't said the name of John Haggerty very much here this evening. As the Aussie backward spiral drops this one down inside the 15-yard line. No yards will be thrown on the 40-yard punt. And unless you're popping big runs, it's tough to keep going to the ground game. Fake it here. Strevler, nice ball placement. Ripped that one to the outside. It falls incomplete. Absolutely. Flag comes up here. Looked like pre-snap is Tavares McFadden. Fell underneath. It should have had another interception. Falls incomplete. Looking for Jarrah Stearns. Sleep with the wheel a little bit. Strevler rips this shot into the hole in between zones. Benji Franklin comes in to get Stearns, but sets up Winnipeg inside 5 minutes remaining in this third quarter with a 1st and 10. Do go to Oliveira, tracked down from behind. Eric Parrish. As light drizzle continues to fall here at BMO Field. Slick football and 2nd and 10. 5 options for Strevler. Hops to his right, steps forward, going to try to get it with his legs. And he gets 8 of the required 10. At 3rd and 2. Strevler takes the snap. Quarterback lead pushing into the pile. And Winnipeg's offensive line trying to figure out a way to chip away at this Argonauts advantage, and this won't help.
Maybe even more than the average player, Zach hates missing time.
Yeah. He's missed more than enough as Strevler steps in, checks it down to Brady Oliveira on 2nd and 10. And a powerful run by Brady O. Strevler under center here on 1st and 10. Well, speed sweep, Cody Case gets a touch. Turns the corner, good speed. As Winnipeg 12 for 12 on short yardage sneaks coming into this ball game. You can improve that once again as they move the change. Strevler, like locked down to 1, they get it. Fakes it to Dembski, rips this one up the field into the end zone. Touchdown Winnipeg as Jonathan Edward tries to dig it out, but Strevler leading the charge with the first offensive touchdown of the ball game for Winnipeg. Roll to your right, rip it as hard as you can. Put it to the spot you want it. And on the final play of the third quarter, the gap is closed. The question is, can Toronto answer, put together a drive, kill some clock, hold the lead that they weren't able to against the Montreal Alouettes in their most recent losses? Janarian Grant tries to turn the corner. Winnipeg special teams unit does a great job. Visit the touchdown pass is Toronto with a free man rushing off the edge, try to get it to the outside, incomplete. Deontay McMahon can't hang on to it. Evan Holm right there on the ground in coverage as well, alongside Kyrie Wilson flying out from his weak side linebacker spot. Arbuckle goes hard count. Nobody jumps offside. Now he steps up in the pocket. Nobody's open. Nick's going to use his legs. Has to get to the 35. He does and slides down. The Grey Cup MVP answers the moment. Arbuckle on 1st and 10. Hands it off. Refusing to go down. Okay, McMahon. Hard count. Arbuckle manipulating the line of scrimmage. Blitz is on, into pressure. Dave Unger at the 55. On the money against pressure, and a nice blitz pickup as well by Kalen Leyburn right in the middle.
Unger making the grab nonetheless.
Empty it out here, try a middle screen. It worked earlier. Why not go back to it? It's getting aerial that time. Is Tavares Daniels.
Already about a 4-minute drive put together by the Toronto Argonauts and into Bomber territory.
Quick throw this time. Unger turns outside, gets the first down, wants some more, gets dragged down. Arbuckle looks to throw. Finds Kevin Mattal at the line of scrimmage, and Mattal puts his head down, drives forward. So going back-to-back to the CFL draft picks here, and Unger. Nick Arbuckle, his 12th career 300-yard passing game. They'll look to hand it off, though. Kalen Leyburn bounces it. And on 2nd down and 5, going nowhere that time. Retta Cranby rallying well to the outside. Terrell Bonds came up as well as Cameron Lawson. Nick Arbuckle, his 12th career 300-yard passing game. They'll look to hand it off, though. Kalen Leyburn bounces it. And on 2nd down and 5, going nowhere that time. Retta Cranby rallying well to the outside. Terrell Bonds came up as well as Cameron Lawson. Plant foot stays steady, and the right foot never in question.
And yet I've been asking him, how much has this been a test of your leadership, knowing what you're dealing with? There is no fear that he will re-injure his knee or make it worse. But the one thing McMahon has said is, I know I have to step up. I'm always talking. I'm always in everybody's ear. But I have to lay my body on the line.
Brady Oliveira, thank you, Matthew, as Chris Strevler tries to continue the comeback here, puts it back into the waiting arms of Oliveira. Short gain that time on 1st down.
quarterback and receiver weren't quite on the same page as to where that one was going.
Jamison Sheehan tried
as an Edmonton Elk.
first overall pick. They let go to free agency. Goes to Edmonton, gets let go. And
Giffen out of the lineup. Sage Dockstader, a late scratch today. Anam out as well.
It's cutting it back on second down. They'll stay on the ground. Will apply their trade once more as John Haggerty, wobbling spiral, drops down. Cody Case at the 33-yard line. Solid return from Case. A flag comes up here at the end of the play as well.
Streffler's going to have to complete some balls.
Streffler rolls away from pressure, flips this one over his shoulder for the second time tonight. Ross McFadden, to your point though, a ball fake and rolling all the way to the field. You know you got to throw. Flag comes up. Looks like Toronto might have been offside. Streffler gets popped as he delivers. And a big hit on both ends of the play is Jared Stearns. And Streffler now looks to his right, finds the open man. Collision outside is Kevin Sklercius. It's had his name in quite some time, but a release valve pays off. Another first down for Winnipeg.
Winnipeg, as the team gets a little bit younger.
Streffler with flags down. Tries to check it down to Brady Oliveira. First and 20. Three-man rush. Streffler's got all day. Stands flat-footed and rips that one. A couple more big plays from him, especially headed towards the end zone here. If Winnipeg wants to get back into a quick throw on second down. And they go with a quick slant.
The penalty battle goes a long way towards winning games as well. It puts you in a hole when you take them.
3rd and 5, blitz is on. Streffler throws into it. Cody Case can't hang on. It is incomplete. Downs and the incompletion. Looking for Case as Arbuckle turns around, hands this one off, and Kalen Leyburn. Somebody's got to do it.
Whatever it takes.
Second down here for the Toronto Argonauts. Inside the 3-minute warning, and Nick Arbuckle at the end of games to secure their second victory of the season here in week number 8. Flag comes up as Haggerty gets it away. He got a quality return out of this one to set up Chris Streffler with a short field, 2.5 minutes remaining and trailing 31-17. Nice kick that time from Haggerty. Drives Case all the way back inside his 20. 58-yard punt and quality coverage.
Good team finding a way to win, Montreal.
Streffler throws a crossing route underneath. Joey Corcoran makes the grab on 1st and 10.
Run here on offense in the absence of Cody Case.
Streffler gets it out once again underneath. Looks like they just, what'd you call it in offense?
Of the no-huddle offense.
Streffler steps up and checks this one down underneath. Brady Oliveira running through tacklers. And a great run by Brady that time. Crosses into Toronto territory. The very best at putting his shoulder down and leaning forward at the end of a run. This time they go with a draw handoff to Oliveira. Argonauts defense all over it. Sniff that one out. Isaac Darkangelo. Darkangelo feels like the handyman in this Toronto defense. What do you need?
Yeah.
You want me to play over here, over there? A little bit of everywhere. And now everybody is on top of Chris Streffler. Streffler against a 4-man rush, escapes to his right. It is 3rd down. Throws his body across the middle. Not much to show here tonight at BMO Field. These two teams will play again coming up next week, Friday Night Football. Sliding down to the turf is
the interceptions they've had, throwing some early as well in the ball game. You know, kind of first half of the season lessons that you learn in terms of having to figure those things out a little bit more quickly and make your adjustments. A lesson that may benefit you as the year goes on.
Toronto improves to 2-5 now with the victory. Winnipeg set to go to 3-3 on the season. Flowing to the football in the rain here. Saskatchewan out in front, controlling at 6-1. And this one on the turf, and Derek Sluka picks it up. was going to say, it's not exactly a 100-yard return multiple times over, but somehow the football just seems to find Derek Sluka. Makes a run of things here in that defense. A couple of major returns in the game on the road against the Ottawa Red Blacks. And tonight, he and the Double Blue will celebrate their second victory of the CFL season as Mike O'Shea and Ryan Dinwiddie